proven to be fake. So I know a lot of people get on that, so they don't want to let go of Ethiopia and the whole thing because of their fascination with the Book of Enoch. But when you read the Book of Enoch, it really just casts even more doubt on the Bible's validity, period, because it's just crazy and it raises a bunch more questions. And it's just like, come on, common sense still kills it all about the angels coming down. God's supposed to know everything. Why can't he stop these angels? And how you know these angels were coming down fucking the people who created? It just still raises more common sense questions that don't fit. And I always say, you want to kill everybody instead of just killing Satan and starting all over. It don't make sense for him to not just, if you're going to drown all these people, just kill Satan too. If they drown them because they're evil, it don't fit. So again, common sense always kills biblical religion. And the Book of Enoch, again, it's not proven. It's a cool story, but it's just like the Bible, same category where it's not proven. And, it's even more spooky hocus pocus stuff in that book. But people questioning Christianity more and more these days because it's just too much information out there. You have a lot of people putting out videos that make people scratch their head. And then you look at the way things are and have been, and it's hard to believe that it's some Jesus out there who we just pray to fix problems when that has never been proven to be true. It's a religion that requires faith and belief because there's no proof. But now more people are starting to understand the deeper esoteric understanding to the book and how it, relates to consciousness and spirituality. And this is why you see in the church trying to adapt to that. Say, well, it's consciousness in the Bible and, try to be conscious Christians, which is fucking bullshit. And they don't understand how crazy that sounds. But as I said, it's going to happen eventually. They're going to come out and they're going to say, well, you know what? All this spirituality and consciousness stuff was always in the Bible, and it's what Jesus was trying to teach us, and we should follow it. And eventually, at some point, they're going to understand what Jesus really represents and that he didn't walk the earth, and still, use the Bible as a metaphor for that. It's what you have to understand when rappers wear two crosses or whatever the Jesus piece, the people who understand what Jesus represents, what he represents you. So you can promote Jesus all you want if you understand what he is, but when you promote him as a person that actually existed and walked the earth, clearly brainwashed. But he's you, as I talk about in my videos, and represents you. 12 disciples represents 12 signs of the zodiac, which represents us all. And Jesus is your consciousness. God is your subconscious. And it's deeper stuff to all this. And you got to understand this. You got to understand what it's talking about in Genesis. And Genesis being about the brain, the body, soul. You have to understand why we, say they stole from Kemet. And we understand the esoteric information that's in the Bible and how it relates to Kemet. So you're talking about in the Garden of Eden story having to really do with the brain. The Great Pyramid in Giza in Egypt it has to do with the brain. You have the king's chamber, you have the queen's chamber, higher and lower chambers representing higher and lower consciousness, higher and lower brain. The lower brain is reptilian. That chamber, talked about this before, points to the constellation Draco, the queen's chamber, which is why you have Eve, the one being deceived by the serpent, because it's the queen's chamber that points to that constellation Draco. Draco, the dragon. But it's a serpent dragon. And then you go back to Genesis and you understand why God curses, the serpent on his belly. But what snake that's not already on its belly? All snakes are already on their belly. But a serpent dragon had, front and back legs. So that's what it's talking about. It's esoteric. It's giving you an understanding of what it means. Even the Garden of Eden story, it comes from the Garden of Hesperides, which the Garden of Hesperides gets into this whole thing. And it's about the fruit of immortality. Same stuff. This predates Christianity, by the way. But we give you this information for you to understand metaphorically what it's talking about, the esoteric understanding of what this stuff really is. You have the higher chamber, the king's chamber in the Great Pyramid, that represents the limbic system, or what they call the bird brain. Parrots can talk because they have a limbic system like humans. That's why they can speak English, which is crazy. A lot of people don't think about that. And when you look at the headdress on the Egyptians, and you see the whole double Uraeus, and you have the bird and the serpent. It's not a coincidence. All this stuff goes hand in hand. It's what the book of Genesis is giving you esoterically. It's talking about the mind, the body, spirit. And again, it's questions that you just ask reading the book. And you get stupid answers, which is why we do what we do. It's like, okay, well, wait a minute. Who are these people that were created before Adam and Eve? But we're told Adam and Eve are the first people. Adam is made from the dust of the ground, but these people are made in the image and likeness of God. What is that? So it's giving you a masculine and feminine understanding about our creation, energy, and then the flesh, which basically, it's our vehicle for our energy. But it's made up of everything that we see around us, dirt included. So there is esoteric understanding, knowledge you must have for you to grasp what we're talking about in the Bible. The problem is people can't fathom that they understood this thousands of years ago. They understood atoms and everything thousands of years ago. They understood about this stuff in the 1600s when, King James gave us his version. And as I said, it just sounds so easy. Oh, wow. Sun is spelled S-U-N. It sounds just like sun, S-O-N. But people can't see that it's not a coincidence that Jesus is called the Son of God and we have the sun in the sky. And that the sun walks on water like Jesus walked on water. And without the sun, we can't get rain to turn grapes into, wine. So Jesus is a metaphor. He is an allegory. He is the sun. That's what Jesus is, Jesus, or Serapis, whatever you want to call him. That's what he represents. And there's so many different Bible verses that give you the understanding that God is the Son. And, so many attributes the Son have. We see God having those same attributes in the Bible. But you have to choose, what you want to be. You have some people who are trolls. That's all they are. These people want to argue because they want to feel better about what they follow. Because when you're scared of something, you don't really want people to know that you're scared of it. You're scared of life. So, the Bible has to be real to them. And deep down, they know it's stupid. But they want to argue it because it makes them feel better about following what they follow. You with a girl that everybody know ain't shit and they start telling you why she ain't shit, you go and start naming all her good qualities. Well, she cooks and she does this and that, instead of realizing what they're saying. It's like, dude, she's a whore. You know what I'm saying? You're still trying to defend it. It's the same thing we have with these Christians. They want to defend something that they know deep down is bullshit. And that's what it is. So you have to choose what you want to be. Either you want to be a true Christian that follows the Bible, which none of you are because it's impossible to be that, or you're a troll. You're a troll who just want to argue and feel better and get validation for what you believe in. Or you are a person who is on the fence. And these are the people who I speak to, the people who are on the fence and are truly, actively looking for information to make it make sense. So when I put it to you the way I just did about understanding Adam and Eve and, stupid, goddamn, a woman cannot come from a man's rib. Like, come on, people. Cannot come from a man's rib. So what is it talking about? It's esoteric because we understand that Adam is the atom and the orbit that an electron takes around the nucleus of an atom is called a rib. So that's what it's talking about. Eve. Eve means before. Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. The woman existed before the man via the electron. Electrons are female. So that makes more sense than what the hell you read in a book. Then understand that this book just got here and people that existed hundreds of thousands, millions of years before the book did. So what happened to those people? Why wasn't they, put through religion if it's everything? And then we get the book and it's telling us, hey, the world started this date to try to make it make sense. But we can prove that we have trees older than 6,000 years old. But they try to make everything fit and make sense. But even still, that doesn't make sense because you have in the Old Testament, God telling the Israelites to go out and slaughter all these people before the Bible was even made. So why are you killing all these people? And they don't even know what you want. They don't even know that it's a sin for them to not worship you because you didn't come and tell them. You didn't, there was no churches, there was no people preaching. You just wiped these people out. make it make sense. It don't fit. So when you understand that these people are the indigenous people, our people, black folks, and that land belonged to them, and the Bible was trying to justify them, committing genocide and slaughtering and taking our land, to give us the Europe we see today. That's what it's about, which is why the book condones slavery and why we were given this book during slavery. It's a lot to all this stuff. So you have to choose what you want to believe and what you want to focus on. But, it's the best way I put it to people is we are simply doing our research. I get so many people that say to me, why you hate the Bible so much? Why are you doing this? What's wrong with you? And I say, well, this is something that largely takes away from our one experience here as us. So I want to make sure that it's true before I blindly follow it. And I understand the book, travel the world studying it, learn different languages so I can understand it more. But let's keep it real. You don't follow the book yourself. And if a homeless man that smelled like shit walked up to you and said, hey, God told me to tell you to give me everything that you own and then go seek him out in the desert, you will want proof of that before you did it, right? You wouldn't just blindly follow him, right? You would want proof. So why do you get on us for wanting proof about the Bible? Just like you're going to, check $100 bill to make sure it's real before you give a person change. That's all we are doing. We are simply checking that $100 bill, making sure it's real before we give up our change. We are simply making sure something that we are being told that sounds outrageous and crazy, like a man that smells like shit telling you to give you, to give him all of your belongings. Oh, prove this to me. We're saying the same thing. Prove it. And we've done the research and we tried to find the proof and we didn't find it. Thus, we are here. But there'll be a lot more videos coming out for those who are looking, and a lot of information on so much biblical stuff. But I have a lot of videos already on YouTube. If you haven't seen them, but I want to put more up-to-date stuff out. But, you got to be real with yourself at some point. Christians, the one who keep hounding me and emails after emails about bullshit. Yeah, you got to be real with yourself. And, you can believe in this stuff all you want. But we're going to do some research and we're going to make sure, and we have done that, and we are where we are. But you got to be the one who choose for yourself what you want to do, and if this stuff is real to you, and if it sounds real to you, and if you choose to follow it and stay Christian, then go do you. Don't be putting this on nobody, trying to force what you believe in on somebody because you want to feel more comfortable about it, because deep down it's bullshit. But let people do them. You go do you, because you cannot argue religion. That's why it requires faith. There is no proof. So there's no point in getting into a debate or argument with somebody about something you could never prove is true. So yeah, wanted to say that, get that out. But yes, people, stock market 3, you want to see it. Take advantage. First 200 people who buys the video will get all 3 videos, as well as, well, even if you're not one of the first 200 people, Stock Market 3 will come with the entire personal economics collection. So it will come with that no matter what. But first 200 people will get that, as well as Stock Market 1 and 2 and the real Law of Attraction, first 200 people, because I appreciate you guys and I appreciate the support. And I know it's tough right now. A lot of people can't buy all the stuff, and I'm trying to help you guys out, and this is the way I can do it. No disrespect to everybody who paid for it, but I'm just trying to help people out and do what everybody does. You got to do stuff like this, and yeah, it's a lot of information, but it's also a lot of prerequisite information you need to have. So I'm giving it to you guys in this thing. So yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch, and thanks to everybody who supports and purchases and everything like that. And stay tuned for the new site. I said Christmas Day, more information coming on that. And yeah, see you guys next video.